Hey, happy day to everybody out there. We have a request here. If you're listening to Junie B on whenever, okay, could you put in the comments what town you're from? Because we think maybe there are people near and far who are listening to this. And if that's the case, we would be really excited to hear from you. So just put in there like I live in, I don't know, Liberty, Indiana. That'll work. So, to get started, today's story is Junie B. Jones is almost a flower girl. I think being almost a flower girl might be pretty exciting or very sad. I don't know. We'll have to see what Junie B. does to get herself in trouble on this one. My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like B, and that's all. I'm a bachelorette. A bachelorette is when your boyfriend named Ricardo dumps you at recess. Only I wasn't actually expecting that terrible trouble. It happened today on the playground. First, I was playing horses with my friends Lucille and Grace. Then all of a sudden, my boyfriend named Ricardo ran right past me, and he was chasing a new girl named Thelma. Ricardo! Hey, Ricardo, exactly what do you think you're doing, mister? Then I zoomed right after that guy, and I tackled him on the grass, and we wrestled and tangled and rolled all around. And finally, I sat on his legs, and I smoothed my hair very attractive. Hello, Ricardo. How are you today? I am fine, only I just saw you chasing new Thelma, and so please knock it off, and I mean it. Ricardo raised his eyebrows at me, very surprised. Why? How come? And I sucked in my cheeks at that guy. Because, Ricardo, because I am your girlfriend, and you are my boyfriend, and boyfriends and girlfriends are only allowed to chase each other. That's how come. Ricardo kept on looking at me. Shrugged my shoulders. Those are the rules. Sorry. And Ricardo's face turned real glum. But I like chasing new Thelma. It's fun. I patted his arm, very understanding. Yes, well, I don't make the rules, Rick. I just enforce them. After that, I got off his legs and I sat in the grass next to him. Ricardo didn't talk for a real long time. And then finally he stood up and he shook my hand real nice. Junie B., it's been fun being your boyfriend, but I think it's time we started chasing other people. After that, he waved goodbye and he ran off to chase new Thelma again. My eyes got big and wide at him. No, Ricardo, no, come back. But Ricardo kept right on running. I felt weakish and sickish inside, and I slumped back down on the grass, only too bad for me, because just then the bell rang for the end of recess and all the children started running to the building, but not me. I just kept sitting on the grass, and my teacher called my name. Her name is Mrs. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs., and that's all. Finally, Mrs. came out to get me. Junie B., honey, why aren't you coming in? What's the trouble? I looked real depressed. Ricardo, I said, real sad. Ricardo is the trouble. This little naggy cough is just so annoying. So I'm going to have a little drink of iced tea. Because otherwise I have to start the whole book over. After that, tears came in my eyes and my nose started to run very much. Mrs. closed her eyes. Oh, no, not boy problems. Not already. And after that, she gave me a tissue. And she stood me on my feet, and she walked with me to room 9. Mother had the day off from work. She met me at my bus stop. She was pushing my baby brother named Ollie in his carriage. I ran and hugged her legs. Mother, I am so glad to see you. Because today was the worstest day of my life. I have been run through the milk, I tell you. Mother raised her eyebrows, kind of confused. Oh, I think you mean run through the mill, Junie B. Run through the mill means you've had a hard, grinding day. Yes, Mother, that's exactly what kind of day I had, because my boyfriend named Ricardo wants to chase other people, and that news grinded me right into the ground. I reached in my pocket and pulled out my snack cookie. Look, see how upset I was, Mother? I couldn't even eat my snack cookie at snack time, because my stomach felt squeezy and sickish inside. Mother took my snack cookie out of my hand. She took a big, delicious bite of it. Thank you, honey. I stared and stared at that woman, because she missed the point, apparently. No, Mother, you are not supposed to eat my snack cookie. You are supposed to feel sorry for me. Plus, also, you have to tell me how to get Ricardo back. Mother bended down and gave me a hug. Sorry, honey. I know that you're upset about Ricardo, but really and truly, Junie B, you are way too young to have a boyfriend. You're just a little girl. I stamped my foot. No, I am not little. And anyway, all the girls at school have boyfriends, Mother. My bestest friend, Lucille, has a boyfriend named Clifton, and my other bestest friend, Grace, has a boyfriend named Roger, and Charlotte has a boyfriend named Ham, and Rose has a boyfriend named Vincent, and Lenny has a boyfriend named Crybaby William, and now I am all alone with nobody. I'm sorry, honey, but all of those girls are too young to have boyfriends. Please, Junie B, do not start this boy stuff so soon. Little girls are supposed to be footloose and fancy-free. I did a frown. What's loose feet got to do with the problem? It's just an expression, Junie B. Footloose and fancy-free means that you can run and play with anyone you want. She ruffled my hair. You don't have to worry about picking out a boyfriend until you're much, much older. But I'm already much, much older, and besides, I don't want loose feet. I want the same kind of feet everybody else has. I'm not a baby, you know. I quick runned over to Ollie, and I held up his teensy hand. See this, Mother? See his baby hand? See how teensy it is? I held my hand right next to his. Now look at my hand. See how big it is next to Ollie's? Huh, Mother? Do you? And after that, I picked up one of Ollie's baby feet. And see this teensy foot? My feet are a bajillion times bigger than those little baby things. I stood up straight and tall. I am big, I tell you. I am practically a giant lady. Mother chuckled. Sorry, Toots, but I'm afraid you're still too young for a boyfriend. After that, she gave me another hug, and she smoothed my hair, and she ate the rest of my cookie. At dinner time, I told Daddy about what happened on the playground, and guess what? He said the same dumb thing as Mother. You're way too young to have a boyfriend, Junie B. It's nice to have Ricardo as a friend, but little girls should be footloose and fancy-free. I covered my ears when I heard that. Quit saying that about my feet. I don't want loose feet, I tell you. I want grown-up feet, just like Mother has. And then Mother looked at Daddy. I think someone is S-L-E-E-P-Y. I did a mad breath at her. Yeah, only guess what? I'm a grown-up lady, and grown-up ladies know how to spell, and so I am not one bit slippery, so there. Then Mother did a chuckle, only I don't know why. And after that, she got me down from the table, and she took me to the bathroom, and she filled up my tub for my bath. She put lots of bubbles in the water, and also she gave me bath toys and a washcloth puppet. I gave them right back to her. These things are for babies, and I am all grown up. Suit yourself. And after that, she sat down on the floor, and she watched me sit in the bubbles. I sat and sat and sat. See me, Mother? See how I'm just sitting here? When grown-up ladies take a bath, we just sit in the water, and we don't splash, and we don't play with baby toys. I sat some more. Then finally I did a big sigh, because I was bored out of my mind, that's why. I patted the bubbles a little. Sometimes grown-up ladies pat the bubbles. It's not the same as playing. And Mother smiled. I picked up some bubbles and put them on my arms. Bubbles are good for ladies' skin, I said. They make us very smoothie. I put bubbles on my face and chin. Sometimes grown-up ladies enjoy making a bubble beard. After that, I covered my whole entire self with bubbles. Hey, it's very fluffery in here. Mother laughed. You look like a bride in a long white veil. Then all of a sudden, her whole entire mouth came open. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to tell you the good news, didn't I? Your Aunt Flo called today, and she said she's getting married. Mother clapped her hands. Aunt Flo, Junie B. Aunt Flo is getting married. Isn't that exciting? You're going to go to your very first wedding. After that, Mother smiled real happy, and she hummed a pretty bride song, and she danced with my towel. So guess what? Getting married must be a very big deal. The next day at recess, I sang the pretty bride song. I sang it to my bestest friends named Lucille and Aunt Grace. Here comes the bride, all dressed in white. Her name is Clyde, and she reads TV Guide. That Grace looked admiring at me. Wow, I never even knew that song had words. Of course it has words, silly. Every song has words. All you have to do is make them up. And after that, I skipped all around those two, and I sang the song some more. Guess why I'm singing this bride song? Guess, people. Guess, guess, guess. And I couldn't wait. Because I'm going to my first wedding ever on account of my Aunt Flo is getting married. That's why. Lucille clapped her hands real delighted. A wedding. A wedding. I love weddings, Junie B. Are you going to be the flower girl, huh? Are you? I wrinkled my eyebrows. The what? The who? The flower girl. The flower girl, said Lucille. The flower girl is the very first person to walk down the aisle at the wedding. She gets to carry a flower basket, and she throws beauteous flower petals all over the floor. It's really fun, too, Junie B, said Grace. I was the flower girl at my Aunt Lola's wedding, and I got to wear a long satin dress, and I only tripped 2 times. Lucille fluffed her fluffy hair. Yes, well, I've been a flower girl in 3 weddings, Grace, and I've worn 3 long satin dresses, and all of them had matching purses and shoes and hats. Plus, one of them had a blue fake bunny fur cape, and I never tripped at all, and that makes me the best flower girl, probably. Grace's face drooped a teeny bit. Oh. After that, Lucille asked me a million more questions. What kind of flower girl dress you going to wear, Junie B, huh? Is it going to be long or short? What color will it be, do you think? So far, I have worn yellow and blue and pink. She tapped on her chin. I wonder what kind of flower petals you will carry in your flower basket. Tell your Aunt Flo I prefer rose petals. All of a sudden, Lucille did a gasp. Junie B, I just thought of something. Maybe Grace and I can teach you. We can teach you how to walk down the aisle and carry the basket. Want us to, huh? Want us to teach you? I jumped up and down. Yes, of course I want you to, Lucille. And after that, Grace cheered up very much, and then all of us did a high five, and we skipped in a happy circle, and we practiced being flower girls. I skipped home from my bus stop very thrilled, because I had good news. My Grandpa Miller was babysitting baby Ollie, and they were playing on the floor together, and I run and jumped on the couch. Grandpa Miller, hey, Grandpa Miller, listen to my good news. I'm going to be the flower girl at Aunt Flo's wedding, and so what do you think of that, sir? Grandpa Miller stopped playing with Ollie and did a funny look at me. What? Are you sure about that, Toots? Sure, I'm sure. Of course I'm sure. Because me and my friends decided it at school today, and now all I need to do is tell Aunt Flo. And I zoomed to the kitchen and got my mother's address book. And then I zoomed right back to my grandpa. Here, Grandpa Miller, tell me Aunt Flo's phone number. I need to call her right this very minute. Grandpa Miller scratched his head. Gee, I don't know, honey. This doesn't sound like a good idea to me. What if Aunt Flo has already made arrangements for a flower girl? I laughed out loud at that silly man. Yeah, only how could she already make arrangements for a flower girl when she doesn't even know it's me yet? Grandpa Miller covered his face with his hands, and he did a groan back there, I think. I pulled on his sleeve. Come on, Grandpa, look up the number, please. And finally, Grandpa shook his head no. You really need to wait and discuss this with your mother. Because Mother would not be home for an hour, probably, and who could wait that long? That's how come I quick-hided the address book under my arm, and I tippy-toed down the hall to Mother's room. And then I closed her door, very secret, and I climbed up on her bed. After that, I opened up the address book to the page with the M's, because Aunt Flo's last name is Miller, just like my grandpa's. And what do you know? I spied it right away. F-L-O, I spelled real thrilled. F-L-O spells flow. And here's another good thing. Aunt Flo's phone number was right next to her name. Hey, this project was easy as cake. After that, I dialed the number. It ringed and ringed. Hello, said a voice. I did a gasp. Hey, what do you know? I did it, Aunt Flo. I called you right on the telephone. Aunt Flo's voice sounded curious. Junie B., is that you? Yes, it's me, Aunt Flo. It's Junie B. Jones, and I've got the bestest surprise you ever heard of. Then all of a sudden, the surprise popped right out of my mouth. I'm going to be the flower girl at your wedding, Aunt Flo, and so this is your lucky day, madam. I runned all over the bed. Wait till you see me, Aunt Flo. I will be the bestest flower girl you ever saw, because Lucille already showed me how to throw flower petals, and Grace showed me how not to trip. And I kept on talking, very excited. Mother thinks I'm a baby, Aunt Flo, but I'm not. I'm a grown-up lady. Wait till you see me. Just wait. Aunt Flo didn't say any word. I tapped on the receiver. Aunt Flo, where'd you go? Yes, well, I'm here, Junie B. It's just that your news sort of caught me off guard. I bounced on the bed some more. Hooray for off guard, right, Aunt Flo? Because off guard is like a big surprise, right? And so what kind of dress would you like me to wear? I think it should be long, like all the way down to the floor. I grinned real big. And guess what else? Maybe I will also wear a blue fake bunny fur cape. Aunt Flo didn't talk again. I looked into the phone with my eyeball. We must have got a bad connector here. Junie B., honey, said Aunt Flo, I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. Just then I felt sickish in my stomach because bad news is not that good, usually. My voice got quieter. What kind, Aunt Flo? What kind of bad news? Oh, dear, I really don't know how to tell you this, Junie. Well, Joe and I have already chosen a flower girl for the wedding, honey, and I'm afraid it's not you. I did a gulp. Who are you afraid it is? I asked. It's Bo, said Aunt Flo. Bo? Bo is Joe's little sister. Joe? Joe is the man I'm marrying, said Aunt Flo. Joe asked Bo. Oh, and just then my eyes got tears in them. I gotta go, I said. After that, my nose started to run very much, and I hanged up the phone. The rest of the day was not that enjoyable. I got in big trouble, because Aunt Flo tattletaled to Grandpa Miller, and Grandpa Miller tattletaled to Daddy, and Daddy tattletaled to Mother. And Mother made a big issue of it at dinner. A big issue is the grown-up word, for Mother keeps yelling, and she won't let the matter drop. It was wrong, Junie B. It was wrong to disobey your grandfather, and it was wrong to invite yourself to be in Aunt Flo's wedding. I sat up a little straighter. Flo, F-L-O spells flow. Mother sucked in her cheeks. Yes, well, we're all thrilled that you're learning to spell, but this isn't about spelling, Junie B. This is about disobeying your grandfather. I hanged my head way down. But I wanted to be a flower girl real bad, and I wanted to wear a long dress and show you I'm a grown-up lady. I'm sorry, but that's no excuse. After that, I slumped way far over the table, like too bad for me, because my head got too close to my plate and my hair got gravy in it. I stared and stared at my gravy hair. Today is not actually going that well, I said to myself. And just then the phone rang and Mother answered it. Oh no, it was Aunt Flo. And she wanted to talk to me. And Mother handed me the phone and I shook my head real fast. No, thank you. I don't actually care to speak to her at this time. But Mother kept on shoving the phone at me, and so I didn't have a choice. My insides felt shaky and nervous. Hello? Well, hello yourself, said Aunt Flo. Her voice sounded jolly. I'm sorry about what happened today, Junie B., but I've got some good news for you. How would you like to be the alternate flower girl? Do you know what an alternate is? I shook my head no. An alternate is like a substitute, sort of. Like if Bo gets sick and she can't be in the wedding, you will step in and be the flower girl. Do you understand? Just then I felt a little bit happier inside. I do, Aunt Flo. I do understand. But wait, said Aunt Flo. I haven't even told you the best part yet, because even if Bo doesn't get sick, We still want you to sit with the bridesmaids at the reception. How does that sound? My eyes got biggish and whitish. Perfect! It sounds perfect! And I jumped up and down from my chair. Hey, Aunt Flo, this means I can still wear a long dress, right? And who knows, maybe Bo will even give me a couple of flower petals of my own. I kept on getting happier and happier. Thank you, Aunt Flo. Thank you for making me the alternate flower girl, because this day turned out happier than I thought. And after that, I hanged up the phone, and I zoomed all around the house like a rocket, and I did a cartwheel, and I standed on my head, because now Mother will get to see what a grown-up lady I really, really am. Mother bought me a beautiful dress for the wedding. It had golden puffery sleeves, and it came all the way down to the floor. And also she bought me fancy pantyhose with glimmery shimmers on them and brand new shiny gold shoes. I could not thank that woman enough. I thanked her the whole time I was in the store. Thank you, Mother. Thank you for my beautiful dress, and thank you for my fancy pantyhose, and thank you for my shiny gold shoes. And I smiled real big. Now all I need is my blue fake bunny fur cape, and I will be all set. Mother shook her head. Nope, no way. We've spent quite enough for one day. I looked and looked at that woman, because she has no fashion sense, apparently. Yes, but I have to have a blue fake bunny fur cape, Mother. Lucille says a blue fur cape adds elegance to any outfit. Lucille says... Mother interrupted my words, and her voice sounded scary in my ear. I don't care what Lucille says. No fur cape. All righty then. And after that, I helped carry my bags to the car, and I behaved myself all the way home. And then I run to my house with all my beautiful things, and I tried my flower girl dress on for Daddy. And guess what else? I walked all the way down the hall, and I didn't even trip. Daddy gave me a thumbs up. What a perfect flower girl you are. Thank you, I said. Only I'm not the real flower girl. Remember, Daddy, I'm just the alternate. Just then my shoulders drooped a teeny bit, and I didn't feel that happy anymore. Because at first you're very, very glad to be the alternate, and after that, you're not. That night after dinner, Mother tucked me in bed real snug. She kissed me goodnight on my head. Yeah, only don't turn on my light yet, because I forgot to do something very important. And after that, I quick got out of bed again, and I looked out my window. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. And I crossed my fingers for luck. Dear star, please make Bo sick for Aunt Flo's wedding. Love, your friend, Junie B. Jones. I hopped back into my bed. Mother's eyes got big and wide at me. No, Junie B., absolutely not. We do not wish for people to get sick. You go back to that window and you change your wish right now. I raised up my eyebrows at her. Well, how can I change it? It already got sent. Fine, said Mother, then go back to the window and wish a nicer wish on top of it. She snapped her fingers and pointed. Now, Junie B., I mean it. I got out of bed real slow, and then I walked to the window again. Looked at the same star. Dear star, Mother says not to make Bo sick. So maybe you could just give her a small case of head lice, and that's all. Thank you and good night. Mother shook her head. No, Junie B. I did a mad breath. But head lice doesn't even hurt, Mother. Head lice is just takes a little extra shampoo, and that's all. Mother kept on shaking her head, and she made me change my wish again. Okay, star, never mind the whole dumb thing. Only now I won't be a flower girl for my whole entire life, probably. And so I hope my mother is happy. Amen. After that, I got back in my bed, and Mother turned out the light. After she left, I did a big sigh. Shoot, that lice idea was a beaut. Just then, my stuffed elephant named Philip Johnny Bob tapped on me. Don't feel bad, he said. You might still get to be the flower girl. Yeah, only how? He thought and thought. Maybe Bo's daddy will be driving her to the wedding, and their car will get stuck at a railroad crossing, and the train will be 1,000,000 bajillion miles long. I felt a little perkier. Hey, yeah, or else maybe his car might get stuck in something else, like in some ooey-gooey mud or in a traffic jam or a giant puddle of crazy glue, said Philip Johnny Bob. And after that, me and him laughed and laughed, and then I hugged that guy very tight, because he's always given me hope. Aunt Flo's wedding took forever to get here. I waited for my whole entire life, practically. Then one day at breakfast, Mother told me a happy surprise. Well, tomorrow's the big day. And so what do you know? My very first wedding was almost here. That night, I could hardly even sleep. I got up bright and early in the morning, and then Mother came to my room, and she decorated my hair with a green velvet ribbon, and she helped me get dressed in my flower girl clothes. Pretty soon, a lady came to babysit for Ollie. Then me and Mother and Daddy got in our car, and we rode to church together. And guess what? There was a million bajillion people there already. I hurried up the steps, and then I stood on my tippy toes, and I looked all around for Bo. Where's she, Mother? Where's Bo? Is she sick, do you think? Did her car get stuck in crazy glue? I don't see her anywhere, and so maybe I will be the flower girl after all. Mother smoothed my hair very nice. Honey, I've already talked to Aunt Flo today, and Bo is feeling fine. She's probably getting dressed with the bridesmaids. Let's be happy for her, okay? I didn't say anything back, because what's to be happy about? That's what I'd like to know. After that, all of us went inside, and a man named Usher holded out his arm, and he walked Mother to her church seat. Me and Daddy followed them down the aisle, and guess what? I still didn't trip. 3 ladies smiled at me. I smiled back. Hello, ladies. See how good I'm walking down this aisle? Too bad I'm not the flower girl, right? My voice sounded loud in the church. I like that kind of voice. After I got to my seat, I smoothed my dress very nice, and guess who I saw? I saw my Grandma Helen Miller, and she was sitting right in the front of me, and I tapped her on the head. Grandma Miller, it's me. It's your granddaughter, Junie Bree Jones. Look how grown up I am being, Helen. And then Grandma smiled and winked, and she said, don't call her Helen. After that, the organ started to play real loud, and everybody stood up. And then all of us looked at the back of the church, and what do you know? I saw Bo. She was walking right down the aisle, and she was throwing pink flower petals on the floor. It looked like fun, I tell you. My heart got pumpy and poundy inside because Bo was coming in my direction. And so that's how come a great idea popped into my head, and it's called, hey, maybe Bo wouldn't mind if I took 1 or 2 petals out of her basket and threw them, because that would be fair of her, I think. And Bo kept getting closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden she was right next to me. And I quick reached for her flower basket. No, shouted Bo. Yes, I shouted back. And then I tried to take some petals out of the basket, but Bo pulled it away from me, and so that's how come I had to pull it right back again. And then me and her got into a little tussle. A little tussle is the grown-up word for how come she won't just let go of the darn thing. And all of a sudden, my mother reached over, and she pulled my hands right off the basket. Her face was steamy mad. I did a gulp. Hello, how are you today? I'm fine, only I just wanted 2 little petals. That plan did not work out, apparently. And so now I will just behave myself for the rest of the wedding, I think. And after that, I smoothed my skirt, and I fluffed my hair, and I acted like my best grown-up lady. After the church, everybody went to the reception. The reception is a big, giant room where you sit at tables, and you listen to loud music, and you eat food and cake. And then wait till you hear this. The bridesmaids' table is the longest table in the whole entire place. And I run right to the end of that huge thing, and guess what? There was a teensy card with my name printed on it. Here, I'm sitting here, I hollered to Mother. And just then I saw Aunt Flo. She was coming over with Bo. Uh-oh, I said, very nervous. And then I quick hid behind Mother's skirt. But Aunt Flo didn't even look mad. She bended down next to me in her beautiful wedding gown, and she held my hand real nice. Junie B, honey, I didn't see what happened in the church, but Bo said you tried to take her basket. Is that true? I shook my head very fast. No, Aunt Flo, I didn't try to take her whole entire basket, I promise. I just wanted 2 teensy petals, and that's all. I held up 2 fingers. Just this many, Aunt Flo, just 2, because Bo got all the rest of the petals, and so 2 would be fair of her, I think. Aunt Flo looked at Bo. Bo, honey, did you hear that? Junie B only wanted 2 little flower petals. Bo looked shy at me. Then all of a sudden she reached into her basket and she gave me 2 petals. I smiled real big. Hey, that is a nice gesture of you, Bo. After that, Bo smiled back at me and Aunt Flo put us in our chairs. Bo asked me how old I am and I sat up straight and tall. I am almost 6, I said, very proud. Bo did a sad sigh. Pooh, I'm only 5. I'm always the littlest, always. I patted her arm, very understanding. Don't worry, little Bo. Someday you will be a grown-up lady just like me. Bo did a teeny little frown. You're not a grown-up lady. Yes, I am a grown-up lady, Bo. Just ask my mother if you don't believe me, because I acted grown-up for the whole entire wedding, almost. Just then I quick put my napkin in my lap. See this, Bo? See how I'm putting this napkin in my lap? If I was a baby, I would tuck it in my collar. But grown-up ladies put them in their laps. And I sat up even taller. And see how straight and tall I'm sitting? This is how grown-up ladies sit. We never slouch and slump. After that, I sat very still and I didn't move a muscle. Now look at me, Bo, I said out of the corner of my mouth. See how I'm sitting? I'm not even squirming on account of grown-up ladies do not get ants in their pants. That's why. I folded my hands very polite. Now I'm folding my hands very polite, and I am waiting for my food. Bo kept on looking at me. The end, I said. And after that, I kept sitting there a real long time, and that's how come Bo got tired of looking at me, and she started playing with her spoon, and she clinked it on her water glass. Also, she clinked it on her plate and her knife and her head. Grown-up ladies do not clink spoons, I said. Bo shrugged her shoulders at me. After that, she made a puppet out of her napkin, and she made it bite my nose. Hey, I said, and then I did a quick frown. Grown-up ladies do not play with their napkins, I said. And after that, I did a big sigh, because my food was taking 1,000,000 years, that's why. And finally, my legs started to get stiffish and tightish. And also, I got an ant in my pant, and my foot went to sleep. And so that's how come I had to hop down from my chair, and I stamped my foot on the floor. Sometimes ladies have to stamp their sleeping feet. It is perfectly acceptable to do this. And after that, I shaked my foot all around, but it still did not wake up. I looked at Bo. Okay, here's the thing. Sometimes ladies have to skip around the table to get their blood pumping. Really? Said Bo. Yeah, trust me, I know what I'm doing. After that, I started to skip around the table, only too bad for me, because my new shoes hurt my heels a whole lot, and plus also my fancy pantyhose drooped all the way down to my knees. I walked back to my seat very limping. I looked at Bo again. Sometimes ladies have to go under the table and adjust themselves. Bo looked curious at me. They do? Of course they do. That's how come they make tablecloths so long. And after that, I ducked under the tablecloth, and I quick took off my shoes. And plus also, I took off my pantyhose. Whew, better, I said. Then I climbed back onto my chair again, and I wiggled my piggy toes all around in the air. What a relief, I said. Loose feet. All of a sudden, my eyes got big and wide, and I did a gasp, because that reminded me of what Mother and Daddy told me. Bo, hey, Bo, loose feet, get it? I have loose feet. Huh? What? Said Bo. And so that's how come I told her all about my boyfriend named Ricardo, and how he wanted to chase other people, and how Mother and Daddy said I should have loose feet. Get it, Bo? Get it? Mother and Daddy were right. Loose feet are funner than grown-up feet. After that, I quick got on my knees, and I clinked my water glass with my spoon. Also, I clinked my plate and my fork and my head. Sometimes it's fun to be little. Right, Bo? Right? Me and Bo clinked our spoons. Right, she said real giggly. After that, I made a puppet out of my napkin and I made it bite Bo's nose. And that is not even the best part. Because after lunch, me and Bo skipped all around the entire room in bare feet. And we throwed flower petals on people's heads. And no one even got mad. Because when you're little, you can get away with those kinds of shenanigans. It was the funnest time I ever had. And guess what else? After reception, me and Bo hugged each other goodbye. And she said she will call me sometime. And I said I will write her a letter. Only first I have to learn to spell more words. Bo shrugged her shoulder. That's okay. First, I have to learn to read. After that, both of our daddies picked us up and they carried us out to the parking lots. Hey, look how up I am, Bo, I hollered. I am as tall as a grown-up lady almost. Only grown-up ladies don't even get carried. And so too bad for them. Right, Bo? Right? Right, hollered Bo. And after that, we waved goodbye to each other. First, I waved my hand, and then I waved my whole entire arm. Plus, also, I waved all 10 of my piggy toes, and I laughed real happy. See, Daddy, see, I've got loose feet, just like you said. And then Daddy left, too. And we sang the Pretty Bride song all the way to the car. So I guess she didn't get to be a bridesmaid, or a flower girl, but at least she had a good time at the wedding. See you later. Bye.